Have you ever wondered how a boy king Tutankhamun could rule the mighty kingdom of Egypt at such a tender age? The tale of King Tutankhamun is one of intrigue, mystery, and power. Often known as King Tut, he ascended to Egypt's throne in the 14th century BC when he was just a child. Imagine being barely 9 years old and suddenly becoming the ruler of an ancient empire. It's a heavy burden for such young shoulders. King Tut's reign spanned approximately 10 years, a brief period in the annals of history, yet his impact has been profound and lasting. Despite his youth, he was regarded as the divine intermediary between the gods and the people of Egypt. This was an era with no shortage of challenges. Egypt was in turmoil, caught in the aftermath of a religious revolution stirred by Akhenaten, Tutankhamun's father. The young king inherited a kingdom fraught with internal strife and external threats. Yet, in the face of such adversity, the question arises: was this boy king truly ruling independently? Could a child, no matter how divine, navigate the complexities of an entire kingdom on his own? The answer may lie in the shadows behind the throne. Powerful advisors, priests and military leaders were always present, guiding the young pharaoh. In a world dominated by adults, it's plausible that these figures held the true power, manipulating the boy king as a puppet to achieve their own ends. The truth remains shrouded in the sands of time, leaving us with tantalizing clues but no definitive answers. King Tutankhamun's reign is a puzzle that historians have been trying to piece together for centuries, a fascinating glimpse into the intricacies of ancient Egyptian politics. In this journey through history, we will delve deeper into the life of King Tutankhamun, attempting to unravel the mysteries surrounding his reign. We'll explore the theories, the controversies, and the enduring legacy of a boy king who continues to captivate the world's imagination. So, was Tutankhamun truly in control, or was his reign orchestrated by others? Stay tuned as we embark on this fascinating exploration of a time long past. To understand the reign of Tutankhamun, we must first delve into his childhood. Born as Tutankhaten, his name meaning living image of Aten, he was raised in a world filled with political and religious strife. From a young age, Tutankhamun was groomed for greatness. His education was rigorous, befitting a future king. He was taught the art of warfare, the intricacies of religion, and the nuances of diplomacy, all under the watchful eyes of his mentors. He was constantly surrounded by influential advisors who instilled in him the values of a pharaoh. His training was not only physical but also mental, a thorough preparation for the burdens of kingship. Yet despite this exhaustive education, questions remain. Was he merely a puppet maneuvered by his advisors? Or did he truly grasp the reins of power and rule independently? This early grooming may have prepared Tutankhamun for the throne, but did it equip him to rule? This question forms the crux of our exploration. The death of Pharaoh Akhenaten propelled young Tutankhamun to the throne. Imagine for a moment a boy of about 9 years old, suddenly thrust into the role of Pharaoh, the living embodiment of the god Horus, ruler of all Egypt. This was the reality for Tutankhamun. At the time of his ascension, Egypt was in a state of turmoil. His father, Pharaoh Akhenaten, had upended centuries of religious tradition by introducing monotheism and worship of the sun disk, Aten. This radical shift had caused much unrest among the people and the powerful priesthood of Amun. In the midst of this chaos, young Tutankhamun was not alone. He was surrounded by a cadre of advisors, men who had served his father and were well versed in the intricacies of court politics. Among them were Ai, the chief advisor, and Horemheb, the commander of the military. These two would become pivotal figures in Tutankhamun's reign. Ai was a seasoned politician, having served under several pharaohs. He was also Tutankhamun's grandfather, and as such held a significant influence over the young king. Horemheb, on the other hand, was the head of the Egyptian army. His military prowess and strategic acumen were invaluable assets in a time when Egypt's political landscape was so volatile. With such powerful figures at his side, did Tutankhamun truly rule independently? Or was he merely a figurehead, a puppet in the hands of his advisors? It's a question that historians have grappled with for centuries. The truth likely lies somewhere in between. As a child, Tutankhamun would have relied heavily on his advisors. But as he grew older, he may have begun to exert his own influence. Yet the presence of these advisors, their power, and their vested interests cannot be ignored. The boy king was surrounded by men who knew how to wield power, who understood the political landscape, and who may have had their own agendas. With such influential figures around him, could Tutankhamun have truly been an independent ruler? Tutankhamun's reign, although short, was a pivotal one in Egyptian history. After ascending the throne at a tender age of 9, this young pharaoh's rule was marked by significant decisions and events that would shape the future of Egypt. One of the most notable shifts during Tutankhamun's reign was the religious reform. His predecessor, Akhenaten, had upended centuries of religious tradition by introducing monotheism, worshipping only the sun disk Aten. However, under Tutankhamun, Egypt saw a return to its polytheistic roots. The temples of the old gods, which had been closed and neglected, were reopened and restored. The young king's name was even changed from Tutankhaten, meaning living image of Aten, to Tutankhamun, living image of Amun, reflecting this religious shift. But it wasn't just at home where significant changes were happening. On the international stage, Tutankhamun also made his mark. Diplomatic relations, particularly with the Mitanni, a powerful kingdom in northern Syria, were strengthened. This was a major departure from the isolationist policies of his predecessors. The famous golden throne of Tutankhamun even depicts the young king and his queen in a distinctly Mitannian style, a testament to these diplomatic ties. Despite his young age, Tutankhamun was also involved in military campaigns with evidence of him leading his armies into battle. Notably, he led a successful campaign against the Nubians, Egypt's southern neighbors. This was a significant achievement, further consolidating Egypt's power and influence in the region. Yet, the question that continues to intrigue historians is this: were these decisions a reflection of Tutankhamun's wisdom, or the influence of his advisors? Given his age, it's plausible that his advisors played a significant role in his reign. However, the extent of their influence remains a mystery, a puzzle that continues to captivate us as we delve deeper into the reign of the boy king. Behind every great ruler, there are often unseen hands pulling the strings. Nowhere is this statement more applicable than in the reign of King Tutankhamun. As we delve deeper into the life of the boy king, it becomes increasingly clear that his rule was not as independent as it might seem. Let's consider two key figures who were always in the shadows, A and Horemheb. These men were not only advisors but also controllers, steering the kingdom through the hands of a boy. The Grand Vizier, and Horemheb, the commander-in-chief of the army, were both seasoned statesmen. They had vast experience in the political and military realms, respectively, and their influence on the young king was significant. For instance, was a master of diplomacy. He was the one who often interacted with foreign dignitaries, essentially shaping Egypt's foreign policy. His influence was so profound that he even succeeded Tutankhamun on the throne. Horemheb, on the other hand, was a military man through and through. He was the one who directed the Egyptian army, making crucial decisions about the kingdom's defense and territorial ambitions. He too would later become pharaoh. What we see here is a clear pattern. Two powerful men, each with a specific expertise, guiding the rule of a young and inexperienced king. It's not hard to imagine that they might have used their influence to control Tutankhamun, making decisions on his behalf, and shaping the kingdom's policies to their liking. However, it's important to note that this is all speculative. Without concrete evidence, we can't say for certain that Tutankhamun was a puppet king, but it's clear that these two men played a crucial role in his reign. They were the hidden puppet masters, guiding the strings of power from behind the scenes. So as we peel back the layers of history, we begin to see a different picture of Tutankhamun's reign, not one of a boy king ruling independently, but one where the hands of experienced advisors steered the course of history. It seems that Tutankhamun's reign was not as autonomous as it appeared. The mysterious death of Tutankhamun brings us to the ultimate question. Was his death as sudden as it seems? King Tutankhamun's demise at the tender age of 19 is a tale shrouded in mystery. His death came unexpectedly, leaving the world with more questions than answers. Theories abound, each attempting to unravel the enigma that surrounds the boy king's untimely end. Some historians propose that Tutankhamun fell victim to a chariot accident. They suggest that a severe injury such as a broken leg led to a fatal infection. Yet others argue that such an accident wouldn't have escaped the meticulous records of the time. Another theory points to the possibility of a genetic disorder. The royal families of Egypt were known for intermarriage, which could have led to genetic abnormalities. Skeletal analysis of Tutankhamun's mummy has revealed evidence of several congenital defects, lending some credence to this theory. However, the most intriguing theory insinuates the involvement of his advisors. The boy king, despite his title, was surrounded by influential figures who may have had their own agendas. It's plausible that these advisors, seeking more control, may have conspired against the young pharaoh. Could it be that one of Tutankhamun's most trusted advisors and his eventual successor, had a hand in the king's death? Or was it Horemheb, the ambitious military commander who would later ascend to the throne himself? The evidence is circumstantial at best, but the idea of a palace conspiracy is tantalizing. The truth perhaps lies buried with Tutankhamun in his tomb. Despite extensive research, the cause of his death remains elusive, a puzzle yet to be solved. The boy king's sudden departure from the world stage left a power vacuum that was quickly filled by those around him, adding fuel to the fire of speculation. The mystery of Tutankhamun's death adds another layer to the enigma of his reign. The boy king or a puppet, a victim of accident, illness, or conspiracy? These questions continue to captivate us as the story of Tutankhamun lives on, an enduring testament to the allure of ancient Egypt. Despite the uncertainties surrounding his reign, Tutankhamun's legacy is undeniable. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb in the early 20th century was a landmark event in the annals of archaeology and history. The treasures within the tomb, meticulously preserved and untouched for over 3,000 years, offered an unprecedented glimpse into the life and death of an ancient Egyptian pharaoh. What made the discovery truly remarkable was the sheer wealth of artifacts it contained. Over 5,000 items were found within the tomb, each one a testament to the grandeur of ancient Egypt and the divine status of its rulers. These treasures, from the iconic gold burial mask to the intricately designed chariots, have captivated the world's imagination, making Tutankhamun one of the most recognized figures from the ancient world. Yet, it is not just the material wealth of the tomb that has contributed to Tutankhamun's enduring legacy. The tomb also contained a wealth of information about the religious beliefs, artistic styles, and political dynamics of the time. The artifacts and the inscriptions on the tomb walls have provided scholars with invaluable insights into the complexities of ancient Egyptian society. And then of course there is the fascination with Tutankhamun himself. Despite his relatively minor role in the grand tapestry of Egypt's history, the mystery surrounding his life and death has made him a subject of enduring interest. Was he a boy king, ruling independently and making his mark on Egyptian history? Or was he a puppet, controlled by influential advisors who wielded power behind the throne? These questions continue to intrigue scholars and history enthusiasts alike, and the search for answers has only added to Tutankhamun's mystique. Tutankhamun, the boy king or puppet pharaoh, will forever remain a fascinating figure in human history. His legacy, secured by the discovery of his tomb and the enduring fascination with his life, is a testament to the timeless allure of ancient Egypt and its pharaohs. The life and reign of King Tutankhamun raises more questions than it answers. As we've journeyed through the mysteries and enigmas surrounding his life, we've encountered a fascinating blend of fact and speculation. From his unexpected ascension to the throne as a mere child, we've seen how his reign was a tumultuous mix of religious upheaval, diplomatic engagements, and the day-to-day administration of an empire. Was he the master of his own fate, making decisions that would shape the future of Egypt? Or was he merely a figurehead, manipulated by the seasoned advisors who lurked in the shadows of his throne? We delved into his childhood, a period shrouded in mystery. What we do know paints a picture of a young boy thrust into a role of unimaginable responsibility. We can only speculate about the psychological toll this might have taken on him. We've scrutinized his reign, a period marked by significant changes in religious practices and international relations. Was this the work of a boy king, coming into his own and making his mark? Or was it the result of influential advisors pulling the strings, using the young king as their mouthpiece? We've also explored the circumstances surrounding his unexpected end, a subject of much debate among historians and archaeologists. Was his untimely demise the result of a tragic accident, an illness, or something more sinister? In the end, the legacy of King Tutankhamun is not just about a golden mask or a grand tomb, it's about a boy who became a king, a kingdom on the cusp of change, and the intrigue that surrounds it all. We invite you to ponder these questions, delve deeper into the mysteries, and form your own conclusions. History is not just about facts and dates, it's about understanding the human experience, the triumphs and the failures, the power and the vulnerability. Whether a boy king or a puppet of advisors, King Tutankhamun's reign will continue to captivate us for generations to come.